In the world of fame, love often becomes a victim of public curiosity. But for Donny Osmond, one of America's most beloved entertainers, his love story took a different path, a secret path. In 1978, Donny secretly married his high school sweetheart, Debbie Glenn, far away from the cameras and screaming fans. To the world, Donny was still the charming young idol every teenage girl dreamed about. But behind the scenes, he was already a husband, deeply in love, and desperately trying to protect his marriage from the chaos of fame. His record label and management were terrified that if fans discovered he was married, it would destroy his image. In fact, when the news eventually came out, fans didn't take it well. Some even burned his records in anger. The reaction was so shocking that Donny and Debbie decided to keep their relationship as private as possible. What was meant to be a celebration of love turned into years of secrecy and emotional struggle, shaping the rest of Donny's life and career in ways no one could have predicted. Donny Osmond's rise to fame began long before his secret marriage. Born in Ogden, Utah in 1957, Donny was the seventh of 9 children in a family filled with music. His father, George Osmond, managed the family, while his mother, Olive, supported their musical dreams. Donny joined his older brothers, Alan, Wayne, Merrill, and Jay, in their family band, the Osmond Brothers. By the late 1960s, they became regulars on The Andy Williams Show, where Donny's charming smile and pure voice quickly made him a standout. At just 5 years old, he sang "You Are My Sunshine" on national television, capturing the hearts of millions. As the 1970s began, Donny's popularity exploded. Songs like "Puppy Love," "Go Away Little Girl," and "The 12th of Never" turned him into a teen idol. Girls screamed his name, posters covered bedroom walls, and he became the face of clean, wholesome entertainment. But while the world saw a cheerful boy living his dream, the reality was much harder. Endless rehearsals, strict family rules, and the heavy pressure to always be perfect for Donny. Fame wasn't just exciting, it was exhausting. By the time he was 14, he was performing almost non-stop, appearing on television shows, recording albums, and touring the world. He often went days without sleep, pushed by the demands of fame and his family's expectations. His father believed in discipline and hard work, often reminding his children that success came from sacrifice. But the pressure took a toll. Donny suffered from anxiety and stage fright, terrified of making mistakes in front of millions of fans. Every time he walked on stage, he felt the weight of the world on his shoulders. He once said, "People saw the smile, but inside I was terrified." Despite his struggles, he continued performing, not wanting to disappoint anyone, his fans, his family, or himself. The public image of a confident young star hid a teenager battling fear and loneliness. His only true comfort came from his faith and from Debbie, the girl who quietly supported him long before the world even knew her name. When Donny met Debbie Glenn, she was just a normal teenage girl from Utah. She wasn't part of the entertainment world, and that's exactly what made her special to Donny. While everyone around him treated him like a star, Debbie treated him like a regular person. She listened, she cared, and she made him laugh when fame became too heavy. They started dating quietly, away from the spotlight. But when Donny told his management about their relationship, they panicked. They feared that if his fans found out, his career would collapse. So, when Donny and Debbie got married in May 1978, they did it in secret. Only family and close friends attended. For months, they kept their marriage hidden from the public. But when fans finally discovered the truth, their reaction was heartbreaking. Some fans felt betrayed. Letters poured in calling Debbie names, and even death threats were sent. The same fans who once adored Donny now turned their anger toward his wife. The experience scarred both of them deeply. For years, Debbie chose to stay out of the public eye completely, protecting their peace and family life from the chaos that fame often brings. After his marriage became public, Donny's career took a painful downturn. His teen idol image no longer worked, and the world that once adored him suddenly moved on. The music industry was changing, and Donny's clean-cut style didn't fit the new era of disco and rock. His records stopped selling and concert tickets went unsold. He faced financial trouble, and his confidence was shattered. The boy who once couldn't walk down the street without being mobbed was now struggling to find work. He tried reinventing himself with different music styles, even moving to theater, but nothing seemed to work. The media called him washed up and a has-been. Depression hit hard, and at times, Donny admitted he didn't know who he was anymore. But through all the pain, Debbie never left his side. She reminded him of his worth, encouraged him to keep going, and stood by him when the rest of the world turned away. Their love, tested by fame and hate, became his anchor during the darkest years of his life. Just when it seemed like Donny's career might never recover, he found an unexpected opportunity in the 1980s. He appeared on the stage production of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. The role reignited his career and introduced him to a whole new generation of fans. His performance was so successful that it led to years of touring and eventually a film version of the show. Around the same time, he also released new music, including the hit Soldier of Love, which climbed the charts in 1989. Interestingly, when the song first played on the radio, stations didn't reveal his name, fearing listeners would reject it because it was Donny Osmond. Once people discovered it was him, they were shocked and impressed. He had reinvented himself. Donny proved he wasn't just a childhood idol. He was a true artist who could survive changing times. His comeback became one of the most inspiring stories in the entertainment industry, showing that resilience and hard work could overcome even decades of decline. Through fame, failure, and success, Donny's family always remained his greatest treasure. Donny and Debbie had 5 sons together, and he often said that being a father was his most important role. They built a life centered on love, faith, and stability, far away from Hollywood's chaos. While Donny continued performing, Debbie stayed mostly out of the spotlight, focusing on raising their children and keeping their home life grounded. She attended his shows quietly, supported him during tours, and became his emotional backbone. In interviews, Donny has often credited Debbie for keeping him sane and humble. He once said, "She's my rock. I wouldn't have survived this business without her." Unlike many celebrity couples whose relationships fall apart under pressure, Donny and Debbie's bond only grew stronger with time. They learned that love doesn't need public approval. It only needs trust, patience, and understanding. That's why even today you rarely see Debbie in interviews or red carpet events, not because she's hiding, but because she values peace over attention. What makes Donny and Debbie's story truly remarkable is how normal they've managed to remain despite extraordinary circumstances. For more than 4 decades, they've balanced fame and family life with quiet dignity. They've faced heartbreak, career highs and lows, and endless public scrutiny, yet their marriage has survived it all. Donny often says that one of their secrets is communication. They talk through everything. Their shared faith has also played a big part in keeping them united. They both belong to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and their spiritual values have guided them through every challenge. Today, after more than 45 years together, they are grandparents and still deeply in love. When asked why his marriage has lasted so long, Donny simply says, "Because I married my best friend." It's a rare and touching truth in a world where relationships often crumble under pressure. Donny Osmond's journey is not just about fame. It's about endurance, transformation, and love that stood against time. From a teenage idol to a respected performer and devoted husband, his story shows that true success isn't measured by awards or record sales, but by the strength to stay true to oneself. He learned that popularity fades, but family endures. His wife Debbie may not seek the spotlight, but her quiet presence has been the foundation of his life. Together, they've shown the world that lasting love can survive even in the harshest glare of fame. Today, Donny continues to perform, entertain, and inspire millions. But the biggest achievement of his life isn't on stage. It's the beautiful, enduring partnership he built with the woman who chose to stand behind the curtain, loving him faithfully through it all. To millions of people, Donny Osmond has always been known for his dazzling smile and positive attitude. But few truly understand the man behind that image. Beneath the charm and confidence lies someone who faced decades of pressure, criticism, and internal struggle, yet managed to keep his heart pure and hopeful. Donny once admitted that throughout his career, he battled intense anxiety and self-doubt. Growing up in the public eye created expectations that were impossible to meet. Every mistake, every missed note, every career setback became magnified. He wanted to live up to his family's wholesome image and his fans' expectations, but he often felt trapped between who the world wanted him to be and who he really was. During interviews, Donny has described his life as a balancing act between fame and faith, confidence and insecurity. He said that at his lowest moments, he felt like a product, not a person. That constant pressure almost broke him, but his faith and Debbie's love pulled him back from the edge each time. Mental health was not something people discussed openly in the 1970s and 1980s, especially among celebrities who were expected to appear perfect. But Donny's honesty about his panic attacks and performance anxiety later made him a role model for others. He once shared that before every show, his heart would race, his hands would shake, and he would fear that the audience would see through his smile. These weren't just nerves. They were signs of deep-rooted anxiety caused by years of pressure. At one point, the fear grew so overwhelming that he considered quitting entertainment altogether. However, Debbie encouraged him to seek help instead of giving up. With therapy, meditation, and spiritual guidance, Donny began to face his fears instead of running from them. He learned to manage his anxiety through breathing exercises and positive visualization. Over time, he turned his struggles into strength, using his experiences to inspire others. Today, he often speaks about mental health awareness, reminding fans that it's okay to ask for help and that even the happiest faces can hide deep pain. Donny's faith has always been a guiding light in his life. Raised in a devout Latter-day Saint family, his beliefs have shaped his decisions, career choices, and personal relationships. During his toughest times, when his career collapsed, when fans turned on him, or when he faced anxiety, he turned to prayer and scripture for strength. He has said many times that his success isn't just his own, but a blessing from God. His spiritual grounding helped him maintain humility in an industry known for ego and excess. He avoided the traps that destroyed many of his peers: drugs, alcohol, and scandal. Instead, he stayed focused on his values: family, honesty, and gratitude. This spiritual discipline also strengthened his marriage. Both Donny and Debbie raised their sons with these same values, teaching them to stay true to themselves even when the world offers easy shortcuts. Their home became a haven of peace, a place where fame had no power and love came before everything else. One of the brightest chapters of Donny's career came in the mid-1970s, when he and his sister Marie launched The Donny and Marie Show. It was one of television's most beloved variety shows, filled with music, comedy, and family fun. Donny was just 18 and Marie was 16, yet their charm, chemistry, and pure energy made them instant hits. Every Friday night, millions of viewers tuned in to see their playful banter and performances. Songs like "I'm a Little Bit Country, I'm a Little Bit Rock and Roll" became iconic. However, behind the smiles, the workload was enormous. They rehearsed long hours and faced constant scrutiny. Producers expected perfection, and the siblings carried the pressure of representing their entire family's reputation. When the show eventually ended in 1979, Donny was exhausted. He was no longer the boy wonder, but a young man trying to figure out his identity outside of his sister and family. Yet, even after the show ended, his bond with Marie remained unbreakable. Decades later, they reunited for the Donny and Marie Las Vegas residency, which ran for 11 years, one of the longest and most successful residencies in Vegas history. Their onstage chemistry proved timeless, reminding audiences why America fell in love with them in the first place. Donny Osmond's ability to reinvent himself over and over again is perhaps his most remarkable talent. Many child stars fade away, unable to transition into adulthood gracefully. But Donny refused to be forgotten. In the late 1980s, when Soldier of Love became a hit, he showed the world a more mature version of himself, confident, soulful, and contemporary. Then, in the 1990s, he became a Broadway star, earning praise for his performances in Joseph and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Later, he hosted game shows, competed on Dancing with the Stars,